Formulation of LPP. Next problem. In a chemical industry, two products A and B are produced. In a chemical industry, two products A and B are produced involving two operations. The production of B also results involving two operations. The production of B also results in production of C. The product A can be sold at rupees 3 profit per unit and B at rupees 8 profit per unit, and the byproduct C has a profit of rupees 2 per unit. Means it is a max of Z. Profit oriented, it is a max of Z. But it cannot be sold as a destruction cost of rupees 1 per unit. Forecast shows that up to 5 units of C can be obtained or the C can be sold. Forecast shows that up to 5 units of this C can be sold. The company gets 3 units of C for each unit of A and B produced. It may be A or B, 3 units of C for each units of A and B produced. Forecast shows that they can sell all the units of A and B produced. The manufacturing times are 3 hours per unit of for A on operation 1 and 2 respectively, 4 hours and 5 hours per unit for B on operation 1 and 2 respectively. Because the product C is a byproduct of B, there is no time which is used in producing C. The available times are 18 and 21 hours on operation 1 and 2 respectively. The company questions how much A and B should be produced, keeping C in mind to make the highest profit and formulate the LPP. So this is the question. Now we'll have a solution for this. Always you have to define decision variables at the beginning. Define the decision variable. How many decision variables you have to define first? A and B are the products, two products A and B, and B is having one byproduct C. So because of that, 3 variables you have to define: A, B, C. Right. What is A? It is a product. For A we have to define x1, x2, x3 are the 3 variables for product A, for product B, for product C. Is it clear? X1, x2, x3 are the 3 variables we have to define for the products A, B and byproduct C respectively. So after defining the decision variables, we have to define objective functions. Right. After that, we have to define objective function. How to define objective function? It depends upon profit or loss in the problem. It is a profit oriented. Because of that, it should be of max of Z. It should be of max of Z. What is profit? In this problem, they are given the profit as profit. The product A can be sold at rupees 3 profit per unit, and B at rupees 8 profit per unit, and C has profit of rupees 2. So it is given in the problem at the beginning. Now we'll write max of Z, that is equal to rupees 3 x1, 8 x2 plus 2 x3. It is a objective function of the problem. Then I have to move for constraints. We will define the constraints. Now we'll define constraints here. Check. Right. Constraints for this problem. First constraint in the problem, it has been given up to 5 units of C can be sold. 5 units of C can be sold. For the company gets 3 units of C. Company will get 3 units of C for the production of 3 units of C for each unit of A and B produced. Now C is a byproduct of B. So because of that, we will consider it as X2. For X2, there is a production of, for X2, there is a production of 3X3. It is given 3 units of C, 3 units of C for each unit of B produced, each unit of B produced. How much it can be produced? 5 units of C can be produced. 5 units of C can be produced. So this is one constraint. Right. Then second constraint. For that second constraint, we have to form a table operations, product, operations, products and availability. It is given in the problem. We'll read this problem. The forecast shows that they can sell all the units of A and B produced. All the units of A and B produced. All the units of A and B produced. The manufacturing times are 3 hours per unit of operation 1, operation 2. It is clearly given the manufacturing times are 3 hours per unit for A, 3 hours per unit for A on operation 1 and operation 2. That is nothing but 3 hours for both operation 1 and 2. It is given in the problem that the manufacturing times are 3 hours per unit for A on operation 1 and 2 respectively. Then B, 4 hours and 5 hours. It is in hours. 4 hours and 5 hours, 4 hours and 5 hours per unit for B, 4 hours, 5 hours per unit of B on operation 1 and 2, 1 and 2. This is given in the problem. Because the product C results from the producing B, no time is required for that. The available times are 18 and 21 hours. The available times are 18 and 21 hours on operation 1 and 2. So next we have to write the constraints. Next we have to write the constraint after forming the table. First constraint for operation 1, 3x1 plus 4x2, it is a profit type less than or equal to 18. Then 3x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 21. Finally, we have to write x1, x2, x3 greater than equal to 0 as non-negativity constraints. So this is how we have to solve the problem. Next problem. Right. Next problem. A perm can produce 3 types of baby sweaters. A perm can produce 3 types of baby sweaters. Say A, B and C. Say A, B and C. These are the 3 products. Baby sweater they are producing A, B and C. 3 kinds of wools are required for it. For these 3 products, 3 kinds of wools are required. A, B, C are the product. 3 kinds of wools are required. Those are nothing but red, green and blue wools. For these 3 products, 3 wools are required. 1 unit of type A sweater needs 2 yards of red wool and 3 yards of blue wool. 1 unit of type B sweater needs 3 yards of red wool, 2 yards of green wool. 2 yards of blue wool requires. 1 unit of type C sweater needs 5 yards of green wool, 4 yards of blue wool. So this is the data given. From that data you have to make a table. The firm has the only stock of 80 yard of red wool, 100 yard of green wool, 150 yard of blue wool. It is assumed that income is there. It is a max of type. Income obtained from each unit of type A sweater, rupees 30, type B sweater, rupees 50, type C sweater, it is rupees 40. Determine how firm should use the available material so as to maximize the profit. It is a profit oriented problem. So first define the decision variable. First we will define the decision variables. First decision variable are x1, x2, x3, because it is producing three types of sweaters: x1, x2, x3. x1 is for A type of sweater. Then x2 for B type of sweater, x3 for C type of sweater. These are the three decision variables we have defined. Next we'll move on to objective function. Objective function, depending upon profit or loss, it is a profit type, so we have to write it as max of Z. How much profit? It is given directly here. The income obtained from each unit of type A sweater is rupees 30 x1, type A is x1, plus type B is rupees 50 x2, plus type C sweater is rupees 40 x3. Right. Then we will go for constraints. Then we have to define constraints. So we'll go for constraints here. So it is given in the problem that products are A, B, C in terms of yards. It is given in the problem. Right. The material required, wools required. Which are the different wools? Red wool, green wool, then blue wool. 3 wools are required. Right, it is given in the problem. We'll write for A. In the problem it has been given type A sweater needs 2 yards of red wool and 3 yards of blue wool. No green is required. Type A sweater needs 2 yards of red wool and 3 yards of blue wool. Then 1 unit of type B sweater needs 3 yards of red wool, 2 yards of green wool, 2 yards of blue wool. It is given in the problem. I am reading the problem just. Then 1 unit of type C sweater needs 5 yards of green wool, 5 yards of green wool. C needs 5 yards of green wool and 4 yards of blue wool. There is no need of red wool for this. This is given in the problem. Then finally they have given the stock available. The firm has the only stock. Stock available is in terms of yards. So 80 yards of red wool. Stock available is 80 yards of red wool, 100 yards of green wool. Next 150 yards of blue wool. It is given in the problem. From these we have to write the constraint. For red 2x1 plus 3x2, it's a maximization type less than or equal to 80. For green there is no x1, so x2 is there. 2x2 plus 5x3 less than or equal to 100. For blue, 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3 less than or equal to 150. So these are the three constraints we will get, and at the end we have to write x1, x2, x3 greater than or equal to 0 as a non-negativity constraint. This is how we have to solve the problem.